Shit, I wasn't recording. Did all that and wasn't recording. Excuse me, folks. Well, that's all right. We'll get enough cutting. So we got the two miter boxes. This is the
Make sure this is square.
the Zona miter box. Okay, so now he's going to make sure this thing's square. Okay. And so the Zona miter box is deeper for the Zona saw, which is, you know, got a deeper blade. So anyway, but then I got the Midwest that I showed you earlier, and this one's trick because it has all the different angles in it. As you can see, all the little notches in it. Plus, the floor of it is flat, unlike the Zona, which has the channels in it. So, where did it go? My finger, there we go, like that. So you don't want to be clamping wood down here balsa with this red clamp to hold it, because it could put, these marks could be put on the underside of the balsa that you're using. But this miter box is flat. It doesn't have any ridges in it or anything, see? So that means we can take this one, and they always put a lip on here. See the lip on the left side? So you hang that over the edge here and it won't move, right? But you can put the work in there like this, the way you want it, and then use that red clamp there to clamp it, and it holds it while you go to saw it with your saw. So that works pretty damn nice. So what he's doing now is, you know, he's marking these things, and this metal straight edge is gives you a nice straight edge, and it's thin and a little more accuracy than using the regular wooden ruler, you know, because it's thinner, so you can get the edge of it's closer to the surface that you're trying to mark. So it makes it nice. So he's being brave and marking a whole bunch of them. I guess they're all the same
A
length.
little bit longer.
On
so
each one,
pin
that's,
those down,
yes,
sand them
yes,
into
yes, yes.
size, yeah.
Yes, long is good. Because one end is going to be good. So you can take those and put them all in place and gang sand them. You know what I mean? You can glue them in place.
Oh.
And with them in place here, you could sand the whole bunch of them, or you can put them in place and fit each one, whatever suits you. You'll see. But having all these tools is just the ticket, I'll tell you. I got that little table saw, and I got the scroll saw, and I got a drill press, and I got a belt sander, and I got a Dremel, cordless Dremel, all these other tools, and geez, is it nice to be building. You can make everything just exactly square and straight and true, and I got a whole bunch of squares I use when I'm framing a fuselage, so the fuselage sides are 90 degrees to the building board, and boy, it's nice. I did Terry's King Cobra, and the fuselage came out perfect. I made the fuselage, I took to both sides of the fuselage after I had them, took the fuselage sides, had the triangle stock in them, and I didn't have the ply doubler in it yet, but then I put them back to back and lined them up perfectly, and then sanded the outside of all of them and where the wing saddle is and everything, so they were absolutely perfect matches. So then after I built the whole fuselage, and I jigged it really, really well, so it was absolutely square and straight and true and all that, I made the whole fuselage, and I put the wing on it, and I put it on the table with squares on it, and the wing was almost perfectly 90 degrees to the fuselage. So that was good. So I'm learning a little bit as I go along. Take a little bit more time when you're building it, and it saves you time later on instead of trying to rush, you know. Fastest way to build an airplane is to go slow and not make any mistakes. Doing canvas is the same way. You don't hurry, you just go slow and you don't make any mistakes. Try to hurry, you make mistakes, then you got to go back and fix it. It takes you much longer than if you just went slow in the first place. So that's all my different T-pins. I got little T-pins, big T-pins, and push pins, and they all have their use. With this nice board here, this brown stuff I've got here, this stuff here, you can see it. I've got this stuff here, and then underneath that is the sanded ply, and then here's the 2x4 frame. Then I have this plastic here that I put even with the edge here, but on the front, it's wrapped around. Like this, I unscrew this and slide this underneath, and then put the screws back in. Those are just regular drywall screws. And you make sure that the drywall screws are countersunk inside. See how it's creased? Well, otherwise you'll be working on a wing or something, you wind up all these marks in your wing and wonder what it is. This was a screw head sticking up that you didn't notice. Then you got to fill the wing and sand and all that other stuff. So the master is fitting all these pieces. Look at this. Look at that fit. What do you think, huh? Think that'll pass? I think he's having fun. I'm not sure. What do you think? Little giggle. Yeah. And this is the way to build an airplane. Take your time, make it fit, and boy, it looks so cool. An exposed structure like this, and you cover it with transparent monocoat, everybody can see your work. And the guys that are builders, that build stuff like this, can look at it and they'll, they can see how well a fit everything is. And so the guys that never built one, they won't even notice it because they don't know what to look for. But the guys that have built them before can look at it and say, oh, geez, that looks like it fits real well. See, it's almost an interference fit. He's got to take a little bit off it. It'll be an interference fit. And our buddy Terry just called me, and he's on his way. So you get to hear Terry and Tom heckling each other after he gets here. Well, Terry hasn't seen his wing. I got his fuselage done and the wing bolted on, so I'll show you pictures of that. That's his King Cobra. King Cobra is just like the Cougar, and they make a regular Cobra too, SIG does. It's 25 size. So they make the Cobra and the 25 size, and the Cougar, which is 40 size, which Tom has one of them. And then you've all seen it on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is Scale Builder, SCALEBLDR on YouTube. Go there and you'll see Tom's Cougar. And if you type in on Google Images, if you type in SIG Cougar, you'll see a couple of pictures of Tom and his Cougar on Google Images, which is pretty cool. And so anyway, he's got 3 of these pieces to go in each one. There's 1, 2, and the third one's over here. And he's got that nice piece of white pine there, which is nice and flat, and he's sanding it. See, he's got the block there. That's 60 grit. And so that 1x2 right there is sitting on the white pine. It's 90 degrees. So that's what he's doing. So he can sand that. See the fit? Does it go in now, Tom?
Yep. Perfect.
Now look at that. Even with a camera. What do you think, huh? You think that'll pass? It might pass. I don't know. So anyway, now you can pin those in place and anchor them. And the end piece now, he's bringing that up. Sometimes you want to put those in at an angle, and it'll keep it from moving out. You know what I mean? Instead of
like
vertical.
this way?
Yeah, both ways.
Oh.
You put one that way and put the other one in the opposite direction. Put a third one in there, and you got a dirty T-pin. They won't go in there.
Oh.
So take it. If you get a dirty T-pin, just throw it in the trash and get another one. I try to put new ones in there, but if they're rusted or got a little CA on them, so put it in an angle, and then it can't come out. You put the other one at the opposite angle, and it won't be able to. Lift up off the board. That's why you do that. So you can check it, and if they're not that way, then stick them in there at an angle. You know what I mean? And they won't go anywhere. That feels pretty good. But check it really, really careful, because if you check it now and pin it, even put more pins in it right now if you have to, but make sure that rascal's flat. And then when you remember how the stab, how the one was off a little bit, well, you eliminate that by putting the pins in it at an angle. You know what I mean? That looks pretty darn good. Throw that pin away. It's bent. Throw it away. I got tons more. Just throw it in the trash. So the trash has pins in it. It might have razor blades, so anytime you're handling the trash, you don't dive your hands in there. And that's fairly hard balsa, so it's a little bit of an effort to shove those T-pins in, but I try to make sure the T-pins are fairly new and clean. And I put the little ones here, and I put the big ones here. Big ones I use for sewing. And boy, they're nasty rascals. You know, they're sharper than hell. And I use those bad boys for when I do sewing, canvas sewing. You really got to be careful. You can stick the dickens out of yourself with those damn things. I have done it, trust me. So, see that when you put him at an angle, Tom?
Yeah.
You know damn well that son of a gun is flat.
That was the problem I was having, was they would
Well,
raise
now
up
you know.
on me.
Now you know. Now you know. Okay, Bluetooth water bouncer just pulled in.
Smokes.
Huh? That's hard balls. See how it's darker? See how it's darker? He's having trouble getting the teep in it because this is ironwood here. They call it balsa, but that's one for the. He's having a hell of a time getting that in there. So, yeah, it's kind of hard on the fingies.
Do they
Yeah,
have
grab that.
flags?
I'll show you. Watch. Here, I'll show you. Give me put this up. I got to capture the moment here when water bouncer comes in. Watch this. This is cool. Nobody home but the chickens.
Stormtrooper.
Top Gun! Top Gun!
Oh my God.
Here's the terrier.
The Terrier. The Star! Hey, Captain!
What's happening, kid? How you doing?
Look
What
at
you
this.
you break down and got a haircut? Jeez.
Yeah, man, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Did you see your picture?
Yes.
Your star there. Top Gun.
Terry's talking about the picture. If you go to Google Images and type in "Sig Cougar," there's a picture of Tom with his cougar.
Well, Mitch is the star because he built it.
No. So now Terry's critiquing Tom's building job. And
Looks sweet, huh?
what do you think, Admiral? Feel that. Close your eyes.
I
And,
need a new stab belt for my sweet sip. Would you build me one? Sweet. That's way cool.
The more I looked at this airplane, I realized you could disguise it. You could put
Around whatever,
around
yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
and the scallop trailing
Well,
edges, and
yeah, it still has some swing around.
people think it's a.
Yeah, you could
sweet
do
stick or
this.
something, yeah.
see what they're talking about. Terry flies all these sweet sticks. So Terry's talking about putting Maltese crosses on all that
Because I
stuff.
was looking for a kid.
Look at the sander over there by Tom's left hand, Terry.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out. There's glasses, you know where to find them. There's the leopard ones there.
And see the little step on the side, so the step is what runs along there.
That's sweet. And you can set the angle on this?
Yeah.
This one, but you got this here,
Oh, yeah. So you put a piece in there,
yeah.
whatever, like this, and you can just sand the end, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What do you think?
That's cool.
Pretty nice, huh?
Big time nice. And I like the little step that kind of holds everything, you know? That's like a standard 45 or something, or 33 and a third,
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever.
because you can just put that there,
Well,
different angles,
yeah, that's probably, you know,
That's like 15 or something.
put this like, I don't know how that works,
Yeah.
but yeah, cool.
Pretty nice, huh, Terry?
Big time.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, we'll get busy. Quit monkeying around talking to the help, man. Talking to the peons.
He's gonna show me how to push a needle through,
Oh, I was going to show you. I'll show you how to do that.
balsam. My God,
When you have
that's
one,
hard.
like what he's having trouble right now, is this is. I'll show you, Tom. Let me come over there and I can zoom this in. Okay, I'll show you. Get it lined up. And so this is. Get my shades on so I see what I'm doing. Glasses. So anyway, you have a piece of wood that's hard as Chinese arithmetic, and you're holding it in place, and you grab this by the side, and you go like.
Okay, that's a
These things are priceless. You hear me say it so much.
You
about
have a set
something.
of those, Tom?
Yes, thanks to you.
So now you can see it. So anyway, even if this one moved, you come back and get this one.
Yeah.
And that one doesn't look like it's exactly 90 degrees, is it? That's pretty close. Yeah, it is just pretty close. What the hell hit the floor? Let's see it.
There's over in there.
I don't hear it.
Did someone go in the trash?
No.
Oh, maybe one of these pieces of wood fell in.
It must have just been a piece of wood hit the floor because it wasn't.
You got this glued together yet? No. You're just gonna hit it with
So anyway, that's
CA,
how I
or
do
you're gonna
that.
take it apart and put CA in the middle?
Just
Just
the
hit it like
T-pins,
that?
get it lined up, Tom.
Yeah.
And then, in fact, I can hold it to make it easy where you want it. We're just showing part of the black line over here. That's pretty damn square there. So I'll hold it and just shove it in there and then grab the shaft of that.
Jeez.
And you can push that mother right down and grab it fairly close to the bottom so you'll bend the pin. Take your finger and push on here. There you go, like that. See?
It's a slid.
You almost squeeze it harder. There you go. Did it go in?
Yep.
So that's how you have to do that. So now this, you could take the block and go in there, you know what I mean?
A little bit, but we can sand that down.
But you can't get in there, so go over here and you could take this, okay, this emery board here, there's two different grits, okay? And you put this on here, take it away, put this on here, fold it 90 degrees.
Yeah.
This is moving, shit.
Oh, we
You
didn't
gotta
push
run
it
that further in.
You know, we need to slide it in a bit. Actually, it's good.
You gotta use this pliers.
Dang.
It's also with
That's why I was almost wondering if I grabbed the wrong wood. I think it's hardwood.
No, it's just they give you hard balsa wood. You know, that's why the kit weighed 9 pounds.
I never knew balsa came that hard.
You gotta move that pin. You gotta move it because you tend to
Yeah,
go
that,
in the hole.
that hard balls like that make good spars, man.
Yeah.
Dang.
You can build a spruce goose with it.
Yeah, spruce goose.
There you go, you're getting it out. Beautiful. Now you can sand that mother. So then take this thing, use the coarse side, and you can eyeball it pretty well here. If you look on it, you'll get it real close to 90 degrees. Okay. Now Terry wants to see his wing now, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, big time.
It looks good.
So we'll bring the wing out here so Terry can see. I'll bring the camera over here. And this will be his King Cobra. She slides the wing.
Yeah, I'm sorry I never got to respond to that email on the, you said about being a star, will I still talk to you? I get so, I'm so tired sometimes I get home from work, I don't even open my laptop, and then I get bombarded. Yesterday I had like, other stuff, I had Carl contacted me, this guy John Schultz, I'm looking at him, he's in our club, we've done a lot together, and he moved to Phoenix, so he's gonna come back in a while. Cool. He's texting me all day long, like, yeah, cool, man. He picked up the Z-Flight electric Mustang, and,
Yeah.
oh, we were talking about that. The other Mustang kits I was talking about.
Cool.
He needs a canopy for that one.
Well, I'll let you set the wing in.
You got
I'll
another
let you-
rubber band?
well, let's look at it first. Can we look at it? Oh, look at this, man. Way cool. Oh, you glassed over this too.
Yeah, I haven't finished that. It's just glass. It's not been smooth.
Cool, man.
But so
Very cool.
so now make sure the
Very cool, man.
so make sure the wire is good first, and watch how that wing just dives in there with no sweat.
Oh, sweet.
What do you think?
Sweet.
So now just take one of the bolts and get it started with your fingers. Get the other one to start with your fingers, and they should match just perfect. And that's got a fast and low speed and a reverse.
What the hell? Oh, it's backwards.
Yeah, there it is. That's the reverse. There.
Sweet.
And if you take that bad boy and put it on the table here, it's
Now it's getting bigger than the
pretty square. But you know, well, we got this here, so really, maybe I can't put much of a wing fillet on it. Shit. Unless I put aileron in here. You know, because the fillet, we want to bring the fillet off or something like that. You know because they look so much better, you know what I mean? And,
The Mitchell window. It's the fun meter.
What's what?
It's the fun meter. Lots of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
less
my,
fun. No more fun.
leave it to Tom to come up with something. And, these two are a pair, I swear. You're not gonna find another pair like this anyplace.
In the plywood former, see that arrow?
Yeah.
Look what's right there.
Under the plywood double, yeah.
It's right there, that's where it is.
So,
Perfect.
anyway, there's, with your blocks, the block installation's fairly clean. And those blocks, those hardwood blocks, I was able to use my equipment to get them square and straight, you know what I mean? Because the F3 is not 90 degrees to the fuselage, because the fuselage, even though on the plans it looks like it's rectangular from here to here, it isn't, because this is bowed in. Even though I bowed it to start with, it still has a bit of a curvature, because it is tapered. And maybe this is narrower than this by just a little bit, but anyway, this is not a 90-degree angle, it's more like this, it's more than 90. So I wanted the block to fit in flush with both sides, plus it has an angle on it, you know what I mean? So I had to get that right, and I did, it came out pretty good. But you can see that there, I'll show you.
Holy cow. We got 3/4 of the plane sitting here and that box is still full.
So anyway, here's your
We both on the same day, yeah.
here's your tank, and it's already got the lines on it.
That's sweet.
Show Tom how the tank fits in there. I
I
think
take the wing out
I
of it.
think you get it in from the top, I'm not sure. You might be able to get it in from the top, try it.
Oh, yeah.
So I push in there, and I don't have the deck in there, Tom, but
Yeah,
show him,
Fits perfect.
see, Tom, feel it,
Nice.
with
There's
the
no
salt
sides
balsa
to it.
wood
Yeah.
blocks on the side, feel it,
It fits perfect.
you know. See, the tank can't move side to side, but it's not tight, you see what I mean? And we'll probably have the tank slid aft, you know, see, cause this one is big enough so the tank, when you come aft, it doesn't hit the wing, like my DB, it does. But here, we can slide the wing aft, I mean the tank aft, and we can put the servos, here's the servo tray I made, with some of Terry's
Servo's back here.
door skin. Terry gave me some 1/8" door skin here. And then, let's see if I can get in the camera and show this.
We're getting filmed. You're used to the filming stuff though.
Yeah, 'cause Tom-
I'm a little bit nervous when I'm on the camera. So you're just all calm, like, this is a natural,
Shit. So anyway, this is an 1/8" door skin that Terry gave me. And I put basswood on the other side of it, see? For a real simple servo tray, but it works like a champ. And here you can grab that and try to set it in there. You should be able to set it right in there, Terry. I think you may have to go in from the bottom, but I don't know. It may fit like this.
right there.
Does it fit?
Yeah.
And so I measured everything. So when this is up like this, so these are flush with the top.
Yeah.
There
all
is
this stuff is
clearance.
on this, yeah.
So even if you have ball connectors on the aileron servo, this will still clear. You can actually bring clear up to here and you'll still have clearance. You understand? So I made it so you have a great deal of latitude. So we can take the tank, instead of putting the tank like this, like they always do, and then your CG changes as you consume gas, we can put it further back like I did in my Dirty Birdie. So you set your CG with, say, I don't know, half a tank of fuel or something like that, or 3/4 of a tank of fuel, whatever. And so the further the tank is aft, the less the CG changes with fuel consumption. So the plane flies the same either way. Yeah, you could, but that's, so we probably can't get away with that. But we can take the tank and probably put it aft something like this, and then put the servo tray here, which that's why I haven't put the servo tray in until we set the whole works together. And then here's his engine, here, and right here. And this is going to be a side mount engine, which is going to go in just about like that. And so, and it's going to go in there just like that, and then be cowled in, and the cowl's already cut for the motor.
I've seen that being cut, that's cool.
And the cowl fits on this just right. If you put it on there, you can put it on there by hand, Terry, and it'll stay there if you monkey with it. just like that. See, it fits just perfect. So I took a little time, I monkeyed with it, but I got it fitting really, really well. And these have to be, you know, rounded off a little bit for aesthetics. But, and then here is his retracts. You take this and take all that out of it. Take all that out. We'll flip it over, and we'll show the. Take the servo tray out of it, and then very carefully flip the whole thing over so the bottom side is up. Yeah, I do the same thing. I big airplanes, I bang them on the damn ceiling. So anyway, Terry, here's all your landing gear. So take the landing gear out, and you want water? I got water in there, Terry. Bottle of water. That's your nose gear. So now he's setting the nose gear in, and this nose gear is going to fit in there perfectly.
Look at that.
And so it fits in there. And Sig had said we had to notch this out. We had to cut a big rectangular hole in here and block it and all that other stuff. And but we don't. So it matches right up with that, like that. And that's done just exactly right. The other side's got the tire, got the axle on it, so you can set that on this side over here. And that is all set up, so if you match it exactly on the lines, and this line here, you'll see these are absolutely in line this way, which means you won't have toe in or toe out. And this is exactly where the axle has to be, so that when it's installed, so that when the mounting ears of the retract unit are 1/16 below the surface, that the axle would be the required height below the wing, so the airplane will be at the right stance. And then the shelf I made in there, like that, down in there, you can see, is such that when the retract unit is in there, the retract is flush with the side here, okay? It's flush, okay, with the side, with F1. And so anyway, then the tire is going to hang down a little bit, as you can see, but that's no big deal, because this is going to get built up to here, you see? So you're only going to have a little bit of the tire showing, so when it's in the air you won't know. So it's going to have the belly block on here, and then it's going to, yeah, that there. And then this is going to get faired in here, you know what I mean, from here to here. So you won't hardly see much of the tire at all when it's all built. So that's going to be pretty cool. So we're doing pretty darn well for a couple of rookies. So, what do you think? Terry got a haircut, so all the girls are going to be chasing him now. So, how's that look? Push it down in place and spin the tire. And see, I gave you a little clearance side to side. You know what I mean?
For the bouncing part and bending the
God damn.
bending the leg.
Terry, you're a piece of work, you know that? So we're looking pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. So we're staying ahead of everything. So the wings, like I said, the way I did the fuselage, it came out pretty good. And like the plywood doubler in here, they say to put that on there when it's flat on the plans. I got to thinking, well, shit, if you've built very many planes, you know that when you put the plywood doubler in there, then if you try to pull the nose together, here, you don't want to pull together because it's got the ply doubler on there. So what I did is I set the sides up flat on the plans, and I blocked up the nose so it had the right curve on it. So then, with it blocked up, then I glued in the ply doubler. So when it was dry and you took the fuselage side off the plans, it already had the curve on it. So it had the curve from here to here, just exactly matched the plans. So I didn't have to, you know, it was no sweat at all when you put the firewall in here, which is 3 pieces laminated. It fit just perfect. So he just took an electric screwdriver, take the wing out of there. It should come out real nice. No sweat, no wiggling. But yet when you put it in place, it has clearance so you can dive it in there at an angle, but as soon as you drop it, there is no play left or right or up or down. So actually the holes in there are actually round on the bottom side and an angle down, so you can dive the wing in, but as soon as you drop the wing in, there's zero slop left or right or up or down, so it's pretty good. So we're doing pretty well. And the master's over here hard at work. He's gonna be an expert at putting pins in ironwood by the time he gets done. Oh shit, does that look good or what, kids? What do you think?
Looks great.
Looks good. Looks good. Terry's there supervising to make sure he does it right. See that? Talk about having somebody look over your shoulder, you know.
70 in it, Tom.
Oh, wow.
What's it?
That's crazy.
You got a 70?
74 stroke.
Yeah.
A 74 stroke? Oh, well, yeah, that'd be right.
Or a 40 SF.
Yeah, that's normal.
Putting a 46 on
A 46, of course you're gonna put a 46 in it. You better put extra glue on that.
it. Okay. And I'll use the blue zip tie.
Oh my
Better.
God.
There you go.
They got a standing joke about using blue zip ties. Tom says blue zip ties make the plane go
They
faster.
have to be trimmed.
They have to
Yes.
Oh,
You don't want the
jeez.
drag of the extra stuff.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it's hard to get good help nowadays, folks. Oh my goodness.
Tom, did you just dab the thin CA on the,
Yeah.
you didn't put anything in between it and then put it
Nope.
together?
Didn't see it, then I turned it over and put it on the other side.
Way cool.
That's how I was taught.
There you go. Well,
He
this-
says it soaks right in there,
Yeah.
so.
Cool.
And what he's talking about is Terry, is Tom framed it up and then just put the thin CA. That's the thin CA,
We'll glue it.
and
Come on, Tom, glue it.
and so
I gotta get my spectacles
Yeah, get your
on here.
safety glasses.
yeah. So the thin CA, and I keep a straight pin in it so it doesn't clog, since you don't have to cut it off every time. So now he's putting just a little bit of thin CA in there, and it'll wick right in there in those joints, okay? Even though those are almost zero gap, it'll wick right in there. And the thin stuff will absolutely bond those, okay? Because it'll wick in there, and then he's going to flip it over and put it in from the other side, and I guarantee it won't come apart. Because doesn't have a gap. If he had a gap, then you couldn't use the thin stuff. But since he made it fit so well, now it's easy. He doesn't have to glue it and try to put it in place. He puts it in place and hits it with a thin CA, and it will wick into that tiny gap. And it's going to be strong because the gap is such a small gap. That's why he doesn't have to use the medium or thick CA. So, but again, with CA, the biggest thing is to make sure you have debonder handy, okay, in case you glue yourself to the airplane. And it's the most important thing you can have on your building board is the debonder. In this case, it's called Uncure. This comes from Discount Hobby. But you absolutely keep this handy, because I have glued my fingers to the airplane 3 different times, different kits, and it wasn't funny. I was seriously glued my fingers to an airplane, and it's no joke when it happens. Because you put debonder on, you can use Tom, you can use this to clean that off with. Yeah, and so what Tom's doing there, he's cleaning off the end of that straight pin. Okay, it's a little tiny straight pin, and it's small enough now to fit into the end of the bottle for the thin CA. It's a little bit of work, but this way, every time you go to use a CA, it's clean. You just pull the pin out of it and it flows instead of having to take scissors and clip it off. You know. So now this has gone off by now. So now he's taking the pins out of it. And those ones are real hard, so hold that piece of wood down as you're pulling them out. Hold down. There you go. It should come out of there fairly easy, but you don't want to tweak the wood. That's it. Rotate it a little bit and then pull it out. And
Watch your eyes.
and so now, I'm sure he's been careful with the CA, so it shouldn't be glued to the wax paper very much. Maybe a little bit, but not bad. If it is, it's no big deal. You throw the wax paper away anyway, and then you just sand the wax paper off the other side of the part. And so he did so much trouble. He made sure that those were pinned well down on that board. So what that means is when he gets done here and takes it apart, all those are going to be matched, and so he won't have a mismatch of surfaces to sand. Now, see that? It didn't stick at all. Look at the gap on the other side. What do you think? What do you think of that? Look at that. Is that good or what? You can't see any daylight in those at all. You see that?
A little here.
Uh-oh.
This is-
Uh-oh, Top Gun. But anyway,
That's garbage.
look at this side.
But look at this.
Look at this side.
You know what I mean? How good is that? So see, now he can take them and just put a little thin CA on that side, whichever side wasn't glued, and it'll be done. It'll be strong. And the thin stuff will wick right in there, and then you won't have a bunch of CA to sand off, because the CA is going to be a whole lot harder than the wood, needless to say. Even this balsa wood. And so if you look at it closer, you can see it wick on there. You can see a puddle of it, then it just disappears as it just wicks right into the wood. It just went off. I don't know. You can see that smoke. That's why you don't want to have your head right above the CA, because the fumes should go pretty much straight up. Now he's wiping off the tip, and now if he's lucky, now he's going to take he felt it. It's pretty clean, but he's going to clean it anyway with a utility knife. He's going to clean that pin off, clean a little bit of CA and stuff, the foam off there, and now it will go right back into that tube, and it takes a little bit of work to get it in there. And now it's good. So see, that was a little bit of effort, but that, instead of him having to cut that thing off every time like most people do. Now these should probably be pretty much dry by now, but not a bad idea to give him a few more minutes. And so, you know, he did such a good job, even, you know, it didn't even stick to the plans.
I did a little bit there.
So it just stuck a little bit, but that's because he fit it so